Okay, fair enough. That is generally the standard build though for a Bane. Once you do get the Aether Lens, that's it. You're good.
Hmm.
You're sorted. There's nothing else you really need. The Glimmer Cape's always nice. Maybe a 4 staff here and there. If you can get a telescope, buy those tier 3 items. That's kind of amazing because then you can just grip someone
Hmm.
from half a map away. But
Oh yeah.
T1, they'll go for a Legion Commander, which is fairly interesting to pick into a Bane, considering he can
Yeah.
just perma Nightmare the whole duel and nothing can
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, that's a strange pick into the Bane. I'm not sure how much value you're expecting from the duel. Of course, it's still great hold for the Ember. So if you were looking just for a hero to hold the Ember down, the LT can kind of get that done. I think the key thing as well is in the off lane, the LT is not going to be easy to bully out. So it should still be able to find farm and be disruptive. Does give T1 certain timings to play into, but you can't really expect too much from duels in this case.
No, certainly so. I suppose in the end though, the press the attack can purge the nightmare off. So in
Hmm.
some way, you have an easy way of purging that nightmare, assuming you aren't within a duel at the time. And now Adroit, very
Ooh.
different kind of draft going on here. They go for the Bloodseeker pickup, which is I'm not sure what their idea is, but I guess up against the Void Spirit, you do lock him down with that Rupture. You essentially ruin the whole concept of Astral Step. T1,
Oh my god.
here we go. You know, why, Joe? Why is this hero popping up in my pro game?
I don't know. It's disruptive. It stalls the game. Why would you choose this in this scenario? I don't know. It doesn't seem like the best Techies game so far. Maybe T1's gonna get something again for Miracle to stall out the game with, and Techies can indefinitely stall a game. So give him something greedy to play once more. Spectre hasn't been banned out. That could be an option here.
Could be.
And with the Techies, you can't push with the Techies.
That's the
I mean, you could
general idea.
try.
We do have the TA popping out, so Adroit, they're going to stick to their guns. They understand it's just a techies, nothing to worry
Hmm.
about here. We'll just deal with it. Uh, Still T1, they might have something interesting up their sleeves with this techies pickup. It's been a hero we've been seeing pop up in the scene here and there, and I blame Fnatic for that. I believe they were one of the first ones to start bringing it out for no apparent reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
S-
It
Still,
for them it is a bit more of a fun pick though. T1 has to have a bit of a idea as to what's going on. I think the TA pickup here for Adroit is kind of interesting as well because is this telling us it's going to be a boomy Ember coming out? Because obviously you don't want to tie yourself into your tree cores now. You probably do want to save that last pick for a different core, perhaps. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see the pause one Bloodseeker, the mid TA, and something else for the off lane for Ben Soy.
right. Well, Adroit, final pickup now. I'm really curious about this techies pick. I do want to see what they're up to here. Of course, this isn't. T1, they just won their first game of the BTS Pro Series. It's not like they have space to try and joke around here. So I do
Mm.
believe they have some kind of serious strategy with this techies. It's not
Oh
just
yeah,
a joke pick. They're definitely trying
shouldn't be.
something.
It really shouldn't be. So I mean, we'll find out. They do have last pick. That does give T1 a bit of an edge to close out their draft. You can see a droid already draining into that reserve time, trying to think what to do because their lineup it doesn't have the best synergy.
Oh,
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it comes out the Ben Soy Dazzle, if I do recall right. That is. So they want to play a faster pace. They want a way to guarantee that they won't lose the duel. So even if you say waste the Bane spells on someone else, you've got Shallow Grave to contend with. It also gives them a failsafe to go up against the mines, right?
right.
You just Shallow Grave in time, mines doesn't do anything. So it's a nice pick from a droid. I think they've got certain timings to hit, but it does look like it's definitely a bit less greedy than last time. You will still look for some farm on that Ember Spirit, though.
Hold on. Morphling techies seems a bit suspect to me. So if you morph into the techies, you have double suicide, double mines. and double status trap. So, and you get 3 mine charges, right, for
Yeah,
the landmines. So you're telling
if
me
I
they
recall
can
right.
double the amount of landmines on the map with this techies now? Is that what they're gonna do, John?
That's a heavy investment for that. Like you keep in mind, you have to save for the ags on the morph, and
You know
I suppose
what?
there are some nice heroes for that.
You
Hmm.
know what? If T1 wins with this draft, I will shave my beard by tomorrow. This beard will. I'm telling you right now, I will make a deal with T1. If they can make this draft work and they win this game, my beard will disappear before we go live tomorrow.
If they win, that's going to be a big surprise for the viewers the next day. Let me tell you that. I'm sure most of them aren't familiar, but there's a big change up when that happens, Mike. And I'm going to be. I'm always surprised when that happens from you. You know,
They'll be
I
they'll,
always tell you.
they'll be in awe, John. How attractive the face is behind this beard. I'll turn into from the beard man to the I usually get called an emo after I get rid of the beard. Remember the
That's
emos, John? Back in our teenage days.
Oh yeah, that's that. You yeah, we're old and we're fairly old, but yeah, takes me all the way back to high school. Very happy times. Well, relatively happy times, I suppose.
Some of the younger people in the viewing this game may not know what emos are. Good old days, though. I gotta say, some of the music was pretty good. Like we
Yeah,
all, you make fun of it and you act as if you weren't into it, but some of that metal music was actually pretty legit.
yeah. Like you can't hate MCR. No one
Ah,
can hate MCR. You know, MCR is great. I will fight anyone that says they're not.
would you, John?
Just 1v1 me. Yeah, I would 1v1 me. Boxing ring. Let's do it. You don't want to box a Filipino, Mike. Not a good idea.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Paulison on the POS 4 techies.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
You know, this could go either way, right? If you fail your suicide, the Bloodseeker with Thirst up can really benefit from having that low HP hero.
Right.
30 seconds to battle.
We'll see what the idea is. I still don't know what the strat is here from T1. Like, obviously, you've got the duel into the blast off.
Yeah.
And the land. Like, it's a lot of damage you can burst out.
Mm.
But up against the draft of Adroit right now, like, you're kind of hoping for a lot here. They've got this
Yeah.
very fast-paced lineup that has a lot of control and a lot of burst damage themselves. And T1's going to kind of have to play out of their minds to make this work.
They definitely do. You have to keep in mind as well, they last picked the Morph into the Bloodseeker. So, I don't know, that's just such an iffy pick into the blood. Like everything the blood has really hurts you. Blood right, if you're ruptured, so you have to stay still, but the blood right's gonna silence you up, which means you're not gonna cast your spells. Then of course you're juggling your HP around. Bloodseeker enjoys that. It's gonna be beefed up. It's just super strange what T1's bringing up here for their last game in the series.
Alright, well... I love this taunt. This Ember Spirit taunt.
Oh yeah.
Well, they screwed that one up. That didn't work. That wasn't it. Where is this techies? There he is, up at top lane. Paulison. Still holding on to that blast off.
The battle begins.
Nothing happening quite yet with that. They're going to bring Paulison up to the top lane with that LC. In all fairness, there is a substantial amount of burst potential though up this top lane, right? Like, Natsumi on this Bloodseeker does have to be very careful. Because you can underestimate that damage that he can do with Blast Off. It does do a lot, especially as the levels go up.
Yeah, it can be a bit scary. That burst potential you mentioned is really strong. Like, overwhelming odds at level 1 can do a lot. I think if you land that in the creep wave plus Natsumi and then the blast off as well, that might be enough to just get an easy first blood.
There's the first blast off of the game. Just a bit of nice harassment there. I'll have a look at that a bit later on. Mid lane, you'll see In Your Dream versing Mac on the TA. Arguably should be Mac favored on that TA, of course, as the Void Spirit doesn't really have a way to burn through those refraction charges. Again, it is in your dream, so you can't underestimate his Void Spirit.
Yeah, we have seen these melee matchups up against TA though, and TA can really take over. Mac just has to be pretty smart with the bleed off on the side blades, but once he gets that lined up, it's going to be hard for IYD to maintain that lane.
On the bottom lane, Boomy and Ben Soy going to be there up against Miracle, and of course Miracle will have the support of JoeCam. JoeCam going for a nice small camp pull. Very dangerous lane here though for Miracles. They are going to go in with the Poison Touch, and he will be forced to waveform away. But it can get very scary, right? Once you do have those chains up on this support, Ember, you can't really waveform out of that. So if you can get some substantial damage out with that Poison Touch as well, could be easy kills onto this Morph. So top lane.
Yeah, and
never mind. He was dropping very low on that LC, but Forever will be fine.
yeah, it is a bit of a balanced lane up top. You still see Natsumi up there in terms of last hits, but you're not too far behind on the LC end. They are keeping this in check. Paulson is just constantly blasting off on the range creep. So they're securing that EXP. I think that's all they really
nice
want.
first blood. Miracle barely finding first blood before Boomy does. He will get Ben Soy on the Dazzle, and of course Boomy does get JoeCam on the Enchantress, but it was a very, very close call as to who got that.
It's a nice little boost for Miracle, and just with that, I believe he is going to be pretty satisfied with his lane. He hasn't been last hitting as well as Natsumi up top, but there is a lot more pressure in this lane. So level 2 up in Ben Soy and Boomy, I think you have to be really careful about the Poison Touch into chains. It just really keeps that damage going for a bit too long.
Mid lane, going very well for In Your Dream as well, by the way, on that Void Spirit. He's securing quite a bit of CS here. Currently 18-5 in comparison to the 14-1 of Mac on that TA. So Mac's not really dominating the lane as hard as I thought he would. He's currently just trading farm evenly almost within Your Dream.
I think that's something that Void Spirit does have a little bit better. Resonant Pulse does give him some tankiness that the TA doesn't really want to burn through, and the main focus will be the creeps. So that's all really Mac can do.
Forev will go down top lane, and Natsumi will now try to chase Polison down. No, he'll just leave him be, get back to the creep wave. Polison tried to take the Nightmare off Forev before that silence hit from the Bloodseeker, but he just wasn't quite quick enough. And with that, that'll make it a 1-2 now the way of Adroit. You can slowly see Adroit starting to get a little more aggressive as time goes on, as you do get those levels up. In fact, JoeCam trying to go onto Boomy now. They kind of block each other up. Chains out on JoeCam. He'll be alright though. He'll just walk out of that. The aggression is certainly starting here from Adroit.
Yeah, and this is in stark contrast to game 1. Again, with Boomy on the Ember, this does mean he's maintaining lane presence, and that is already making a massive difference, especially in that bot lane.
Aether Remnant gonna latch onto Mac mid lane. He'll be okay. You'll just give him the old clap. I forgot about that new taunt from the TA. Top lane, Forev once again gonna go down to Natsumi. It's just such an easy setup with that Nightmare into the blood right. Such an easy setup to really land that silence. And now bot lane JoeCam also will end up going down, this time around to Boomy on the Ember. And at least JoeCam does manage to deny off that bounty rune. Going for the other one as well. The Poison Touch slowing down the Centaur, but he's going. He's gonna make it. Run! There's no bounty anyway. It's not there. He's just trying to run away. He'll give up. How sad.
It's gonna be a nice little... Yeah.
No.
Nah. Good gold for Boomy. Does have to walk back home, but again, you're seeing the early aggression from Adroit, mainly because they have more support showing up. Forev is already forced into the jungle as the LC, and CML's just gonna contest.
Yeah. That he can. It's still kind of risky to run up that high ground like that up against the techies. But Paulson hasn't really minded out too much. Looks like what they're doing is they're stacking up and making it very easy to take the stacks for Forev, because they are just using those landmines to blow them up basically down to 3/4 HP, or even half HP, and then, of course, the LC does just clean them up.
Yeah, it is effective in that sense. I do worry about how much farm they're giving the Bloodseeker. This is not a contested lane for Natsumi at all.
CML now going to try and run away, but Paulson is there with the blast off. Does get the kill onto the Bane, and we saw the Nightmare there onto Paulson, but again, you can purge it off with the press the attack. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and that does help them out just a bit, but look at Natsumi. Level 6 already at 6.5 minutes in. Has the Rupture, has level 3 Thirst. You're not going to be trading favorably in this lane if you are 4Ev, so I wouldn't stick your head out.
He's just going to take that safe farm by the tier 1 tower, but even then Natsumi's looking to try and go for a Rupture. Just zoning out for Ev consistently. Jokam now going to come and try and help out on this Enchantress, but he will leave his Morphling alone. It's like they're just confident that Miracle should be fine now, as he has hit level 6. He can morph into the Dazzle and just heal himself up, it seems like. But Boomy, gonna try and go right now onto this Morphling. He is taking a lot of damage, and Waveform is available if Miracle wants to go for it, although that Sleight of Fist does do quite a bit as well. And he does back off.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth in the bot lane, and Miracle is still finding a lot of good farm. Still not keeping up pace with Natsumi, just a bit behind, but you are seeing both pause ones get a lot of space here. Although I have to say, Miracle with his HP is benefiting Natsumi a ton.
Still Boomy, just casually spamming out Sleight of Fist onto that Morph. It's going to be quite frustrating to deal with for that Morphling. Start looking towards In Your Dream to make some rotations here on the Void Spirit. He's been rather quiet thus far. He has hit that level 8 mark, and this is around that point where you'd expect those rotations to start. He just hasn't really had much emphasis on those ganks yet. Well, now he is. He's running up towards that top lane. Definitely want to try and get Natsumi if you can, because he is just freely farming away. That is never good news if you are up against that Bloodseeker.
Nah, you really need to start pumping that punishment up. You could argue the same for Adroit. They, again, have left Miracle alone. We saw this happen in Game 1. If you leave Miracle alone, he will find farm. And if he finds farm, he gets big. So, Adroit as well needs to start applying some pressure bot. I think they are just a bit too happy with having the lane stay this way. They're just really confident in Natsumi's Bloodseeker. Like, oh.
Boomy. Get caught out. Does go down. Great gank up there from In Your Dream. But now how do you do with Natsumi? You got that Rupture off. Gonna start charging forward, but there's Forev on that LC. He does have the Jewel up. And CML going to be the target here for the first Jewel of the game, and they are going to be successful in doing so. I thought the Bloodseeker would be enough to force Natsumi, not rather Natsumi, but the Void Spirit back In Your Dream. The Rupture just proved not to be enough.
Nah, they had Jokam around with good heal, so they could just clump up, stay still, and wait for Natsumi to make that move. They didn't have the numbers up there, Adroit. They just kind of lost out there still. Natsumi gets to dip back into the jungle, and T1, even with that kill, they still have to get a bit of a shove into that tier 1 top.
Natsumi.
Although, Joke.
Oh. Yeah, going after Jokam and
Yeah.
kills him off very, very quickly. That's going to be the third kill there for Natsumi on that Bloodseeker. Meanwhile, bot lane, Mackle grouping up there, but the Ember going to be in trouble. Boomy getting caught out, and he will die. Again, that burst damage from the blast off is quite devastating to have to play against. Natsumi has TP'd down to make sure they secure both bottom bounty runes, and that they will do.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. I think Boomy's Ember has been punished a bit too much. He doesn't have the best timings into that urn as well.
Simulate there from In Your Dream. He's still in trouble, but he will astral step onto the cliff, and there's no wards on top of there. In Your Dream will be okay to get out. There is a bounty now on the head of the techies, so watch out for that. Adroit, they're going to start forcing in that tier 1 bottom tower. bit hard here for Miracle, who's trying to just farm creeps and defend. Natsumi, Rupture, going to be there on forever. They want to control the LC. Into the Blood Right. There are some mines in those tree lines, so Paulson's hoping for a dive. I, of course, can't count how many there are, but it looks like it may be a substantial amount.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty to dive in, and Adroit, being very disciplined, aren't going to commit. Just go back. Going to find farm across the map. They send Natsumi away. They've had enough of that standoff.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, Mac's getting very
Yeah.
close to that Desolator now on the TA.
Yeah, it's been pretty good progression for him. Again, he's not been pressured as much from IYD. They have maintained equal farm despite all of those movements. So, you still have space there on Mac. And you take a look at Miracle as well on the Morphling up top now. He is saving up straight up for the shotgun. You just want to blow people up. Of course, it's nice to have that disarm up against a Bloodseeker. Really useful to have as well. So, got some options available now. And Natsumi.
He has the Blade Mail up as well. Just going to start rushing onto Miracle. Rupture is available, but he won't bother committing. Miracle didn't actually have a TP available at that time. Meanwhile, Paulson ends up getting a kill onto Boomy. And I'm not sure what it was that killed him off, but he does end up going down.
Yeah, that's that was tree mines, it looked like in the summary. Tree mines, tree remote mines there, so it's the start. It's the start of the techies effect kicking in.
Here we go.
I'm sure Adroit's gonna be a bit more careful with where they go. Oh,
Paulson's
man.
warding the mining up the opponent's jungle now. So I wonder how much of this is going to be able to get away with, though. Meanwhile, Boomy does find Jocam on the Enchantress. They do find a nice Pos 5 pick off there for Boomy. He hasn't really got much farm going on this support Ember. He is going to be working towards that Spirit Vessel. Almost has the Urn up. It's very standard stuff for the support Ember. Just essentially the usual build. Just stopping really at the Spirit Vessel. Going for a bit more utility.
It's just a bit slow. I think that's one thing T1 has consistently punished is the Boomy hero. So you're just not finding as much, although Paulson forced to jump out with a blast off.
I should be dead here. Chains, Mac will get the bounty. Melt Strike is out from the TA.
Oh man. And
mid lane,
really good pickoff? No.
Yeah, Fiend's Grip gonna come out from CML. He did hit that level 6 mark, and once you hit that, you go for the quick Fiend's Grip. In fact, in your dream now, rotating in to try and help out, but it's all too late. He's gonna try and run away from CML now, and well, he's successfully hiding in that tree line. Jocam gonna come in your dream. Did jump in to try and do something about this T1 getting taken down. He'll Astral Step. There's gonna be a Nightmare, and that should mean he's dead though. No, Jocam takes the Nightmare off, and he will take the Meld Strike. Boomy's still going for the Remnants forward in your dream, just trying to juke and jive his way out of this. Rupture's gonna be there. Can he at least get the deny off? He maybe can. Dissimulate comes out as well. He is still alive. Now the 8th Remnant, but he should die now and does.
Yeah, that was a long process, but they do manage to stall it out enough. They find a trade in taking out Ben Soy. Still, Adroit starting to kick into gear and start to find those kills. A 3k advantage for them and a very nice early start for both Natsumi and Mac. Slowly building into their items. You've got that Desolator up on Mac, of course, and he's very close to the blink. That's the point where RTA can really start setting the pace, not like he hasn't already.
Miracle still trying to work towards that Ethereal Blade right now. It's getting pretty close to picking up the Eagle Song. Bottom lane, however, looks like they have found the techies. They are going to chase forever for now on that LC, and a quick duel coming out with a blast off. They're going to be able to blow up that Dazzle very fast, and now they found the Bane as well. Oh no, it's working.
I mean, it is for T1. They're slowly building up as well. The combination is kicking in. Adroit has to be careful about that. They just can't afford to get caught out like that. They don't have any levels in the grave just yet, of course, and you don't tend to see that early on from a Dazzle. So without that, it's going to be harder to deny off those dual wins. And you are giving a great way to Forev to start building up on that LC, although...
Yeah, Forev going to be in trouble. There's a Deso out on Mac. Traps are there to slow him down. He purchased the slow off. Still Remnants going forward. Boomy. He will have chains. Uh-oh, here we go.
No.
The mines are there.
No.
Boomy, no. He will end up dying, but Mac will be fine. Fiend's Grip out from CML. They will secure the kill. At least it was only the support going down. It wasn't Mac on the TA.
Whew, that is still very traumatizing for Mac. He's died a couple of times now from those mines, so he's really the one coughing the short end of the stick in terms of being, being punished by the techies in the game. Not fun. Still, T1 having to play a little bit more catch-up. They're trying to give Miracle space here. He is one part away from the shotgun, right? Like, he's about 900 gold off, and then the damage can really start flying out. Adroit, they haven't been hunting down that Morphling, although spot him out now.
Yeah, but Mac is currently occupied with Polison, though he does get enchanted up. Refraction does come out. They're waiting for the Refraction to wear off, and now In Your Dream coming in, although what was that blast off? That wasn't it. Polison. They get the kill anyway. It's a great... Yeah, there you go. In Your Dream knows.
Yeah, it's still a big kill for T1, and that does stop the... I believe there was an earlier Roche attempt coming out from Natsumi. They do get dissuaded from that. They have to step back. There's farmed lanes, and Adroit, I don't think you can really afford to go hunting like this anymore. There's some really good wards coming out from T1. In fact, Natsumi.
Jumped on. Miracle has the Eagle Sond up. Blast off. That's a lot of damage being dealt back the way of the techies. Natsumi with the 200 IQ play, but he is going to die regardless to In Your Dream. And Polison's giving the tips out. He is happy with the trade, although here comes Bensoy and Boomy. They're happy to keep fighting. They do get a Nightmare off onto the Enchantress, so a very easy kill there for Boomy. In T1, they may just back off with the rest, as Miracle is so close to that Ethereal Blade now. No, never mind. Forever's around. They want to go again. They want the Dazzle, though. They don't want any shallow graving being committed here from Bensoy. No blink up on Forever, so it's hard for him to close that gap. They are eventually just going to back out.
I think overall, T1 still going to be happy with that trade. They are finding the bigger cores in exchange here. And they have certainly put a dent on Natsumi's farm progress, although he is still ahead. So, again, Adroit has to be a bit more cautious. They do jump into the pit. They've got Mac around, they've got Natsumi. Should be a fairly fast Roshan for them.
Sure will be. The Roshan should almost certainly go to the side of Adroit. T1 not going to be there to defend this. I like the fact that they put a sentry down at least. Make sure there's no mines in there. Very, very important. And now a smoke comes out from Adroit. In Your Dream would be a great kill to pick up. Boomy will show himself. It's nice bait here for In Your Dream, and he takes the bait. Uses him up with the Aether Remnant. Now the Rupture comes out on In Your Dream, though. What a man to dodge on the Rupture damage. Does he get out? Not quite. Now the Jewel is going to come out onto the Bane. They do secure one kill on CML, but now the chase is on Natsumi. Going to keep going after this LC. Forever is fairly tanky. Oh, here we go.
No.
Blast off comes in. Polison, he jumps out, just trying to protect his LC, but he should end up dying here on the techies, or does he? He does. Now, Forever trying to still back out of there. Meanwhile, the rest of the cores, who are we going on? It's going to be Boomy. He does get shotgun down. Mac, though, going to go after the Morph now. Blood right on the floor. Will silence up the Morph. He'll try to TP. There's nothing to cancel it. They will not have enough damage. He does get out of there. Joe Cam does not. Mac will have none of it. He will burst out the Enchantress at least beforehand.
Oh man, that lack of control on Adroit, the fact that they're relying mainly on CML just to keep these people in bay is going to hurt them, and that's just a classic counter to Bloodseeker, a TP. And it does pay off for Miracle in the end. Does get by the skin of his teeth.
Did you see
And
that?
Adroit, oh, yeah.
Did you see that sick juke by In Your Dream though? He had an illusion room bottled up. In fact, hold that thought for a second. They're going to go after that Dazzle, and it was a very quick kill on Ben Soy. But what he did was, he got... In fact, hold that thought for a second, because Boomy is going to remnant out. And Paulson ends up killing off CML. Mines. So what he did do, is he had an illusion room bottled up, and now that illusion runes act as the same way as a Manta style, where you can dodge certain abilities, he actually dodged the rupture damage by astral stepping and using the illusion rune at the same time.
Yeah, that's that really did break Adroit's initial burst. Just made it take a bit too long to kill him off. So that's something to watch out for. I don't think we've seen the most successful ruptures coming out from Natsumi. Still not dissuaded. They smoke up. They've got rupture up. They want to go find something.
Of course. Smoke. Joe Cam. Easy target. Will go down very quickly. Just stands no chance up against Mac right now. Of course, Mac does still have the Aegis, so he wants to make something happen with this. They may just have to settle for a T1 top tower. Miracle was around there on the morph, but of course he'll just TP out, unwilling to fight right now into that Aegis. Mac will just go ahead and secure the T1 for himself.
Yeah, it's a relatively quick take, of course, once the Desolator up and running. There is a double damage rune in the river. I'm not sure if Adroit is going to be able to spot that. Would be a nice pickup to help them find these kills. Still taking up an aggressive position on the map, taking control of that triangle. T1 still has some space to farm out, and you are seeing some rather efficient farm there. Miracle again giving free reign to just build up slowly but surely. He's not too far behind Natsumi. I think that's always the biggest issue here. Miracle has not died, or not died recently, and they're not able to put a lid in the morph. So as time goes on, you're just going to slowly build up as a menace here on Miracle.
Miracle. This is a very, very interesting game here with a 6k net worth lead for Adroit. Still looking to take an easy victory here, surely, Adroit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a techie's job.
I think that works against you as well, right? Like, there is the potency for a completely stalled out game because it's a techies. So you don't want this to run too long. You definitely don't want to drag it out to that point where the high ground's just impossible. And look at that, sneaky remote mines, Mac. Don't walk up there like this. Don't walk up there like this.
There's not that many, is there? CML just TPing out like, no, I'm not interested. Get me out of here. Bot lane, Paulson does end up killing off Boomy. Now Natsumi gonna punish him for that. Nice nightmare TP cancellation. It'd be a 1-for-1 trade on both those pos 4s. Miracle trying to finish off that Manta style right now and just following the path of mines. It's the safest way to go for him. Just make sure that you leave mines behind you and you will probably remain safe.
It's like T1 can really play that stall game out. I think they've done a great job in taking away some of the impact of Boomy. He's just constantly dead. So he's not really being able to do much, although push starts down bot. Again, with the Desolator, towers don't stand too long of a chance, although the Aegis should expire soon for Mac. Has to be a bit careful.
That he does. Should be very soon, in fact. Let's have that 10-second BKB charge, though. 8th Remnant going to come out from In Your Dream. And the Aegis does expire as he blinks out. They are still putting all their faith in this Morphling right now. Miracle just still trying to get as much farm up as possible. Still falling a little bit behind that Bloodseeker and the TA, of course. It's hard to know who does win out of the late game, because you have Morph who should outscale them in the end, and you have unlimited scaling with an LC, assuming you can win duels. But then again,
Oh.
there's a Dazzle who kind of becomes ridiculous at the Jesus. Oh, they do have a gem at least. They can take these out.
That is just... I guess that was the smoke to clear the minefield, and in that sense, a bit successful still. Do you see T1 smoked up as well?
CML, easy pick off. Miracle will take it. Polison just gonna blast off in
Paulson,
case.
Stop it! He's stuck up there again. Stop it, man. Get out. The mine's up there. What?
He found Boomy as well. 8th Remnant gonna lock him in. I don't know if he really has the damage. Remnants are out from Boomy. And the chains will lock him in for a bit. In Your Dream has got help waiting by that Remnant. But Boomy, being smart, will just TP. No, he won't TP away. He will Remnant, but they were waiting.
Oh, man.
They were waiting. Miracle was just idly standing by, waiting for a free kill, and he will take it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's fairly greedy from Boomy, and again, just costs him. Still, they do use that space to clear out the tier 2 bot. So Adroit chipping away the map control T1 has. And they are still slowly building up that lead. 8k advantage on Adroit. The only hero on T1 side keeping up is Miracle. You don't see the same amount of farm coming out in IYD. You don't see the same amount of farm on 4F. They really have taken hits to enable their mortal.
And so Adroit, they're going to start forcing in this mid tier 2 tower. Forev going to be there to try and defend, as his team is trying to get the top tier 2 tower, it seems, or at least apply some pressure. But Adroit, they're not backing off. There is going to be an Ags coming up now on In Your Dreams. They may feel confident. In fact, they jump in straight away, straight onto that Bloodseeker Natsumi. Going to lose a fair bit of HP, but there's not much follow-up to that. So the tier 2 does go down. Miracle still trying to go, does manage to find the T2 top tower, and now waveforms away, although they are chasing. Chains out from Miracle very, very quick. Joe Cam will at least die on the Enchantress, and now Rupture is out. It is on the Morph. Can they actually stop him from TPing? No. No, they cannot.
That's the second time. Just TP right in front with a Rupture on. And it really just hurts them when they can't get that done. Still, they've left Paulson. Maybe they can find that kill. Looks like they don't want to commit.
Well, they don't know. They don't know what's in front of Paulson.
Tower is under attack.
There's nothing there,
Oh, the
but
mind
you
game.
just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. That's strength of the Bloodseeker. Strength of the techies once more. It's the mind games it brings, and well, you let Paulson do this, he will get the creep wave cut with his mind, so there you go.
Radiant's top tower is under
Top
attack.
tier 2 tower. Gonna start being pressured here by Natsumi. In Your Dream. Gonna jump in with the Astral Step back onto that Bloodseeker. But Bensoy will show himself. There's Miracle. He's currently just farming the bot lane again, trying to finish off that Eye of Skadi. So he understands he does need to force this all the way into the late game. That's what's going to be important here for T1, as they are starting to... I think they're starting to get a little bit outscaled here. Like, In Your Dream, he was doing great during that early to mid game, but now you're kind of seeing him really not have enough damage.
Tower is under attack.
No. They are stalling out this push, though. They haven't been able to stop Paulson from continuously chopping that wave. So they can't really take this tier 2, which means Adroit has been wasting a bit of that time. And there's only so much farm in this triangle to share.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Oh,
Dire's bottom
no,
tower
that's not
is
good.
under attack.
That's the abyss. That's the Basher of Natsumi gone from that career.
Oof. That's a yikes. Not good news for Natsumi. They're going to TP down to the bot lane now. Perhaps going to go for a bit of a smoke here. Daedalus up onto Mac. He is not playing around on this TA. Already hitting like a truck. Going to hit even harder now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's gonna be really good if they can get the jump on someone and get a disable off. someone like Miracle would just melt, but at this point, I think you'd take anything. I think a bigger kill would actually be Paulson. Just stop him from continuously disrupting Aldo.
Bloodright gives a bit of vision. Mines gives even more. In fact, Forev gonna get jumped on. Aether Remnant will lock in Mac. And T1 still really unwilling to fight. They could chase Paulson again, and that's exactly what they're going to intend to do. Paulson will blast off into the tree line. Mac going to try and chase him down. He is going to TP in time.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, man. CML opted to save up for the Glimmer Cape first. He does not have an Aether lens, so his range is limited. And, you know, we talk about the Bane, but you really want that 15 talent and an Aether lens to really maximize your presence. They need that up and running on CML soon.
I mean, it's basically a new hero once you've got the Aether lens up. They go for the Roshan instead of Adroit. It will be scouted out by the side of T1. T1, do you feel like you need to fight this? This is the Aegis Cheese. It's getting very, very low. In Your Dream may try to go for a steal. The Courier is there. They do get the cheat. No, they don't. Mac does pick it up. Now they jump in. A lot of mines there. Will pop onto Natsumi. Jokam going to be in huge trouble on this Enchantress and probably will end up going down. Can they find more, however? They want Paulson on that Techies. He's making a run. They will commit Fiend's Grip for this man. Just ensure he goes down, and now Mac's not done. Rupture out onto Forev, who is still sticking around. He does have TP, but he is stuck.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That'll be 3 for nothing.
Dire's bottom
Adroit
tower is under attack.
feeling very, very happy with themselves now, taking that Aegis and Cheese. Who does have the Aegis? It is Natsumi.
Yeah, just have that backup on your Bloodseeker. They do find someone else.
In Your Dream, it's a much bigger kill. He will Astral Step TP away. No way to cancel that. He didn't, or he did have chains.
Yeah, they missed the Sleight of Fist. They missed the Sleight of Fist just by the edge of it, and that does save IYD. This might make it a bit harder for Adroit to commit for a high ground push, so they'll opt to head back to top. Their wave is pretty far behind, though, so they're gonna have to fix that up first before they commit for the push.
Jokam. Close to getting nightmared there by CML, but he'll get away. Miracle, very close now to that full life Skadi. In fact, he'll be able to afford it pretty much after this creep wave if he wants. But it'll leave him with no buyback gold, and I'm sure he'll just save up for that as well. A lot of pings coming out onto Ben Soy. In Your Dream will jump in with the Yules now, locking him down with that Aether Remnant. Although in the back lines they found the Bane. There's the Jewel coming out. Some more Jewel damage, and they do also now get ruptured up. Paulson just explodes onto the damage of Mac. Still, Ben Soy getting jumped on by Miracle. They're not able to burst him down. Mac is cleaning up now. A double kill on the TA, though. Boomy getting low on the Ember. He will get out. Forev even lower. Does end up going down. Miracle will finally secure the kill, but at what cost? He will. Oh, it's a rampage. Mac, he gets it off in time. Oh, that is a lot of damage coming out of this TA.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower
T1, they tried so hard to chase down the Dazzle, but he just kited them out so long.
Yeah, and that's an absolutely big win for Adroit. This will allow them to go high ground, just be a bit cautious about the few mines around. Can cause a few issues still. Yeah, refraction right through. And talking about Mac, we didn't mention it, but he has the Orb of Destruction with the Desolator, and of course he's been critting with the Daedalus, so people do melt. You can't stand up to that, especially since, well, the build on Miracle is nice, but it's not quite there in terms of fully stats up. So he is still pretty squishy as long as Mac gets to get those right clicks off.
That is true. Don't have the buyback on the Morphling. I believe he bought the Eye of Skadi up. So that, yeah, he did. So that means this will be 2 racks. They're going to try and defend the bottom lane. It's not going to be very, very easy, though. Jumping in Your Dream, trying to delay things, but the racks does end up dropping. And they'd love to try and get some pickoffs here on the side of Adroit, but They are well and truly out of there.
Yeah, it gets tricky. I mean, Bensoy did hit the level 18 mark earlier, so you know it gets ridiculous with the Dazzle with just how much sustain he can pump out for his team. Like 20-second cooldown on the Guardian Greaves. Talk about it every time, but it's just too much to deal with for a lot of lineups, and you've even got a Hex up on Mac. He's got all the control in the world to find those kills, and T1, they don't have the solution for this TA.
It's a big problem.
Radiant's top tower
Mac is just absolutely huge. They jump in with
Oh,
the Scythe
Miracle.
Device. They can't afford to lose this Morphling right now. He does not have the buyback gold. Adroit, they just want to finish this game off now. They understand that Miracle is going to get even more powerful as time goes on. Can you go high ground? Mac, he will jump in with that Scythe Device again on the Enchantress. They're trying to just burst her down. Jocam still surviving, but Boomy is on the chase, though. Boomy's taking a lot of damage for this. Miracle trying to fight back. He does not, no, he does find the trade. The tier 4s do that job. Now they do get the duel off, but they've got the Nightmare on the Morphling. Nobody woke him up. Buyback's flying out now from T1. If you're going to get that jewel off, Miracle's got to be awake. He's your main source of damage. In your dream, we'll jump in. Aether Remnant will connect now onto Bensoy. They blow up the Dazzle. Now another Nightmare. That means In Your Dream is going to die. And it's the cleanup crew. Fiend's Grip is out on the poor Morph. He just can't get out of here. He is going to die. And that could just be GG as Mac is just way too far ahead. Paulison trying to blast off. He will, he will deny himself. And that's it. The tier 4s are under siege. In Your Dream can try his absolute best to defend this, but ultimately the game should just be over.
Yeah, there it is. Whew.
What a
T1,
game.
yeah, they try something different with their draft. The techies from Paulson, it looked like it was doing some work early. Not quite enough. Adroit managing to force out the drawn series. And T1, well, not the worst start for them, but you would have liked to find a bit more of a solid win still. We will move on to our next series now.
With that, yeah, we do have one final series of the night upon us. It is going to be Fnatic versus Execration. Execration showing us their debut in the BTS Pro Series yesterday up against Signal Ultra. And they did manage a 2-0 victory over that Signal Ultra side. We'll see if they can do the same up against Fnatic. It should be about a 20-minute break before we do get into that next series. But it's MLP Dota and JohnXFire. We'll see you guys in that time for game number 1.